Alright friends, good morning. Okay. This video, I apologize for the lighting. The lighting is just going to be bad in my videos for a while. Okay. As is the case every time we're talking about languages. Okay. What is the topic of today's video? Okay. The topic of today's video is an introduction to linguistics in one of the major fields, which is morphology. Okay. Morphology, I'm basically going to start out this lecture with what I'm talking about, okay? I'm going to talk about what is morphology. I'm going to talk about some of the world languages. I'm going to go ahead and make a segue into linguistic topology. Morphology is different from topology. And then I'm going to conclude with some concluding statements. Okay, I'd like to start with a slight joke. Okay, now this joke is not funny unless you understand morphology. So I hope at the end of this little talk you will be able to think this joke is either funny or stupid. Okay, I think the joke is very funny. Okay, the joke is, okay, this man is a Chinese language morphologist. He's a Mandarin morphologist. Okay? If you don't think it's funny now, just wait. Okay? So, what is morphology? Morphology is the study of words. Okay? Now, in order to say the study of words, we need to define what is a word. Okay? Homework assignment. Write me a paragraph about what a word is. Okay, everyone will say, "Oh, well, a word is just like like where you put your spaces when you're typing or when you're writing." Well, we're not really talking about written language. We're talking about spoken language, and I would have to say, okay, well, if that's the case, we know that house and dog and my is a word. But what about the difference between dog and dogs? Okay, or cat and cats? All right. The plural form in English, how do we do that? We make an S. Okay. Well, my question is, what about the S? Is that a word? People say no, because you have to connect it to something. Okay, I can buy that. I can buy that. So this raises the question between a word and a morpheme. Ooh, new vocabulary word, morpheme. Okay, a morpheme is something that expresses meaning. Okay, and in the English, the S, okay, the plural ending expresses meaning. But pretty much English speakers will tell you it's not a word. Okay, transition to a different language, okay? Some probably type of isolating language in Southeast Asia. Or where else could we go? Maybe somewhere in, yeah, Southeast Asia comes to mind right now, okay? So basically, I don't have a specific example. Yeah, I guess I could say for Chinese, okay? Mandarin Chinese, you say 我, I, 我们, we, 他, he, 他们, they. So this word, or I'll say morpheme, men, is something that expresses plurality for people in Mandarin Chinese. So, we're talking about Chinese, it's different than English, the writing system is completely different, but basically this morpheme, men, expresses plurality, but it expresses itself differently from English because it's not so much connecting to the word as more separate from the word itself. Okay, with the characters and stuff, you can make an argument. So another example is going to be something like my dogs, okay, or my dog's object. Okay, take the English sentence. I see my dogs. Okay, I see my dogs. English will say I see my dogs. Here's what I see my dogs. You would write 4 words. Okay. How many morphemes do you have here? I'd say 5 because of the plural ending. Now take a language, for example, Turkish. Okay, Turkish you would write, what would you write? Köpeğimi. Yep, köpeğimi. Good, okay. I saw my dog, alright. Here are the morphemes of Turkish. Köpek, im. So on the word dog, which is not really dog, but my dog object, you have 3 morphemes. Okay? So this is a great comparative example between Turkish and English because you have my dogs and köpeğimi. So basically in English you're going to have, it's the same amount of morphemes. Like the idea of the morphemes is the same. It's dog, plural, possessive, and object. So in both languages the idea is the same, and it's basically 4 morphemes. But how is that represented in the words and in the language? In English you are going to have, I said 4 words, or my dogs. 2 words for these 4 morphemes. In Turkish you have 1 word for all the morphemes because they connect to each other. So basically the point is, the way the languages express morphemes through the grammar is very, very, very different. Okay? Take for one example Chinese, which is an isolated language, and take for example Turkish, or even languages like Native American languages, languages in South America. These languages connect everything together, and they can be called agglutinative. All right, and it's just like root, suffix, 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 as opposed to word, 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 word. Okay, now this is a wonderful segue into language topology or linguistic topology, which I'll be honest, okay, it's one of my favorite topics. Okay, it's one of my most favorite topics. Okay, and anyone who's interested in linguistics, oh, look at that person in the background. Okay, we'll call something, it's called walls. Okay, basically there are many languages in the earth, on the earth. Okay, and all these languages express the idea of something. For example, my dog, plural, object, in very, very different ways. Okay, now you can go on this walls, WALS.com. It's like a map of the world, and it'll take a linguistic idea, like let's say possessive marking. Okay, English you're going to have it in front of the noun, and it's going to be like a separate word. In other languages, you're going to connect to the end of the noun, like the Turkish example. There's many, many other examples. And the thing is, it's expressed many, many, many different ways. So, like a separate, kind of individual morpheme in front of the noun, or a suffix on the end of the noun, or maybe a clitic, right? And where is it positioned, in front or behind, left or right, or whatever. And you can look at this map of the world and you can see this. Okay. So this is introduction morpheme. Okay. I'm going to kind of just review some of the examples, alright? Like I see my dogs, köpeğimi gördüm in Turkish. Turkish, you've got the morphemes all, stuck together on that one word. And I guess it raises the question, okay, I'm not going to get into that. Talk about that later. Yeah. And basically look at walls, okay, linguistic topology, the variation and the way something is expressed in the language specifically, right? And you need to look at examples. Yeah. If you got any questions about morphology, send me a message. Okay, keep on learning languages, keep on learning about linguistics, okay, research. If you're interested in something, ask me a question. Okay? I just really like languages. Okay, bye guys.